What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back, guys. So I went ahead and I did a thing. Can you guess what that thing is? Boom, I'll just show you. I made a list, yep, and I did it all just for you now. And we're gonna dissect and we're gonna break down this list because I've been getting a lot of questions about Knull, World Boss Legend, and the best team ups to actually use there. So I went ahead, I took some time out of my day and I did a little bit of testing and this and that to see, in fact, what the best teams actually are. And I have some interesting things that I actually found while I was doing this, and I'm going to share it all with you. So let's get to it. Alrighty, so I made my way over to Knull here so we could see everything in full effect. So I don't think so. This is what we're going to do. We're going to start from the top and work our way to the bottom. I think I'm the furthest along here. I don't think anybody else has cleared stage 60 yet. So this one should be easy peasy. We're going to breeze through, I think, the first few requirements here, and then we'll talk in more detail once we get to a place where I think more people actually are. So from 60 to 65, boom, it is combat human, and basically the only team you could use here is Maker, Lead, Thing, and Taskmaster, and Maker gets it done. Alrighty, ladies and gents, moving right along here. So the next requirement, 55 to 59, it's human female. So a couple different things you might be able to do here. So I think that you pretty much need Moonstone on the team, and it comes down to who do you want to support Moonstone in terms of at least more damage, or you could run Moonstone solo and just have her do solo, just do all the damage by herself. But a couple different teams that actually worked here, I'll show you. So we have Captain Marvel Lead plus Moonstone, and then just another character, Quasar, if you have a PvE build on her. So I was popping Quasar in, just do a little bit of damage here and there. Thing is, with Captain Marvel in Moonstone, it allows you to do her fifth skill, which does like a lot more damage depending on what stage you're at. At this stage, she was doing like 2-3 bars more of damage, which is a lot for stage, say, 59. You could also put Sharon Rogers on the team. I did have a Brilliant on Sharon Rogers as I was doing these clears. I don't think I needed it though. It just made it a little bit easier, and that's why I did it. You could also do something like you could give a Spectrum lead, and that's also very good. I think if you were doing Moonstone and Sharon Rogers and doing a swap, Spectrum might be a better lead there in that case. But if you haven't tried this, go ahead and try this, where you have Captain Marvel in the lead and you have Moonstone. And keep in mind, like I did this and I Quasar over here, and it did a different co-op skill. So you got to have Moonstone on the left side here and test it out. Do Spectrum lead or just any other lead, and that gives like energy attack. Even Star-Lord lead, right? I mean, it gives double. And then put Moonstone here and do the co-op thing, and then do it where you can't do it, and you'll notice a big difference. Trust me when I tell you. So this is the team that you're going to want to use, something like this. Either this, or like I said, Spectrum lead for these requirements here from 55 to 59. Now let's move to Mutant. Alrighty, moving over to Mutant here. Okay, so this is the best team that I found. Now, I do have a Brilliant on Cable. I think Gorilla Baby might have done it with Gambit, basically just doing this right here. He did have a Brilliant on Gambit, although I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. You guys, I made a video on this. You guys saw my clear if you watch that video, and I did it fairly easily. Once I got the hang of actually playing Gambit, Cable, it went pretty smooth, I have to say. But it just takes a little bit of practice, and that goes for any character, really. But this is a team you're going to want to use once you hit stage 50. All right, here we go, guys. Oh, and by the way, this list, along with any other list that I've actually made, will be available in my Discord. There's Discord server under the MFF Helpful Info tab. Okay, I'll probably put a link in the description of this video, and the link to my Discord is also in every video. Okay? All right, so here we go from 45 to 49. The only team that can actually do this, well, the only character that can do this is Winter Soldier. You could probably use different combinations with them, but the best team up is going to be Winter Soldier lead, Falcon, and if you're just using Falcon purely, so him and Sunbird have a team up. It's called Free Flight here, and it gives physical attack and dodge. You could also use somebody like Rogue to swap in, or Yelena even for a little swap in damage there. That is also something you could do, but Rogue cannot do this on her own. I mean, you could also use Elsa lead if you didn't have Winter Soldier, but you get a little bit of a team up from Winter Soldier. It's attack speed and crit damage. It's something, but if you have those capped, then, you know, it wouldn't be as important for you. But this is the well, like I said, Falcon's the only character that can actually do that. You could probably, you know, swap some things around there. All right, let's move on. So guys, you know these last 4 only have like 1 or 2 different team ups here. Yeah, it gets down to the nitty gritty. Now agility. So this was clearable before Proxima got put in the game, and it was Gambit. Gambit needed a brilliant. There was no question about it. Gambit, Raven, and then pretty much any other character there. There wasn't anybody else that actually offers any support. Now you have a little bit of an option where you could use Proxima. Proxima can get it done on my account with a Mighty Energy, Raven, and then I think Corvus is probably the best swapping character unless you had a brilliant on Gambit. Assuming that you have all Mighties, Proxima, Raven, and then Corvus there. You could also use Yelena perhaps if you say use Corvus for ABX and you had like an energy on Yelena. I don't know. Corvus might still be better even if he has a rage. I haven't tested that out, but Proxima is basically going to be your main damage dealer. You're not going to pay too much attention to that other character. Maybe a little bit. And then, like I said, Gambit with a brilliant, he was able to do this before Proxima, Gambit, Raven, and then any other character there. And that's it for agility. Oh, baby. Here's where it starts heating up, because I think there are quite a few players actually at this point right now, and you have a lot of different options here. There should be no reason why you cannot clear this if you've made it this far, just from the sheer amount of strong characters and supports. I think there's 5 different support characters here. You have Proxima, Raven, Taskmaster, Ebony, and Cyclops. I don't know. Am I missing somebody? Is there another support character? I don't think there is. I think that's it. But basically, you have a lot of options here. So I think the best team here that can get it done the fastest is going to be Proxima, Supergiant, and Raven. I actually tested this because I thought it was going to be Captain Marvel, Moonstone, and Raven, or Taskmaster. So you could replace Raven with pretty much any support, right? Taskmaster, even Ebony. So Ebony's support is 35-35, Raven's is 40, Taskmaster's is 40. So it's negligible. It's 5%. You're not going to see too much of a difference between one or the other there, but Supergiant was able to do the quick and dirty a little bit faster than Moonstone. Now, after that, you might struggle a little bit just with the targeting. That could be a little bit of an issue. But Captain Marvel, as I mentioned before, hitting the fit skill, well, the co-op does the fit skill. So you can just do like 4, 5, 6, co-op 3. You could do that. That's basically what I do. You could do it in a different order as well. And it's pretty much the same amount of damage there. But those two at the top are the top teams: Proxima, Supergiant, Raven, Captain Marvel, Moonstone, and then support. Raven, just think of any of the supports as interchangeable for the most part, right? Cyclops is going to offer a little bit less, and it doesn't apply to physical attacking characters. And then Maker, right? Because I have a brilliant on Supergiant, Moonstone, and Maker. Maker was like 10 seconds behind doing the quick and dirty when I did this test, but Maker with double supports, very strong. I think if Thing was available here, he might be, he'd probably be a little bit closer for sure, just because Thing offers a 40% plus 25% damage dealt to boss types. And then if you want to use Cull, so you could use Thanos, Cull, and Ebony, or you could replace Thanos with Proxima. That's also another thing you could do. Honestly, Proxima's lead is probably going to be the best, like, de facto lead for anywhere she's available. I think she's just the best lead, hands down, because she's offering the ignore dodge. And I did a little bit of testing, and depending on what character you're actually using, like ignore dodge, like 50% ignore dodge could be better than Star-Lord's lead. Yeah, it could be pretty potent, like I said, depending on the character. But yeah, you could Thanos, Cull, and Ebony, great team up. Proxima, Mephisto, Taskmaster, where you're using like Mephisto for the damage. I mean, you could do just like a Proxima and then double support as well. Proxima can definitely get it done. She is very strong. But just because you have so many options here, you want to spend at least amount of time on it, and using Proxima to buff a stronger character like Supergiant, Moonstone. I'd have to test Proxima and Mephisto, but they'd probably be pretty close together, assuming both of them have brilliance, as a matter of fact, because Proxima she's just very, very good for clearing Knull. She's not as good for Mephisto, but she's very good for Knull. And then over down here I have Knull with double support. I bet that could work out very well for you. And then actually down here I have all the damage dealers. So I have Supergiant, Moonstone, Maker, Mephisto, Cull, Proxima, and then Knull. I'd say take one of those, give them supports, bada bing, bada boom, or give them lead, right? But these are some of my top teams up here for villain, and there are many. Alrighty, ladies and gents, moving on to Blast. And here you have some options as well. Not as many for villain, and I'm going to try to breeze through kind of the rest of this just because I want the video link to be somewhat digestible for you guys. Now, damage dealers down here: Moonstone, Mephisto, Cable, Sharon Rogers, Torch, and Ebony. A great team up. Ebony with Moonstone and Torch, I think, is absolutely excellent. Now, like I said, I went ahead and I tested like 50% ignore dodge, like using Cable's lead against other leads, and I found Cable's lead to work better for him than like Ebony lead. Obviously, it's going to work better than Cyclops lead. It even worked better than Star-Lord lead. So, you know, I didn't test this with every single character. It might fluctuate depending on what character you're actually using and how much ignore dodge they're actually giving themselves, either with their kit or if they have an energy on. So that's something that, you know, you can kind of play around with a little bit. But if when in doubt, if you don't have an actual lead, just give them ignore dodge, give them bullseye, gambit, Cable, and I promise you that you'll see that damage spike. So some of the team ups I have here, yeah, Ebony, Moonstone, Torch, very good team. Cable, I mean, you guys saw my Cable video, he just destroyed it. He's so good. So Cable, Cyclops, Ebony, Mephisto, and Storm, right? Don't forget about Storm with their 35% elemental damage increase. And then I have down here for Spectrum, Ebony Maw, and then Sharon Rogers. Yeah, you could even go as far as, like, if you didn't have Spectrum, give her Gambit lead or give her Cable lead. And then all the damage dealers down here, yeah, Moonstone, Mephisto, Cable, Sharon Rogers, Torch, and even Ebony Maw. Ebony Maw is actually not bad. Like, I kind of want to do a comparison video with Ebony Maw and then some of the other, like, you know, strong characters that we know of, because I don't think he would be all that far behind, as a matter of fact. All right, moving on. And yet again, we have a lot of great options, man. So many great options in female. So I think the two top teams here are going to be Proxima Lead, Supergiant, and Valkyrie. And then Captain Marvel, Moonstone, and Valkyrie doing the fit with doing the co-op with the Awaken rotation. It does so much damage. Definitely take advantage of that. And then, you know, some other mentions over here. We have Scarlet Witch, Valkyrie, and Storm, right? Again, take advantage of Storm support, right? It's an additional support where you don't, you know, you can't use for every character, so it's almost like kind of like a free support. If you're using an elemental damage dealing character, you could also use it with, like, you know, Supergiant maybe, but Valkyrie's going to be better if you used, you know, or if you want to use Valkyrie for like Moonstone, and you could use Storm for Supergiant. You feel me? And then also down here, so we have Proxima, Moonstone, Valkyrie. If, you know, I don't know, maybe you're using Captain Marvel somewhere else, but I would totally use Captain Marvel with Moonstone and then save Proxima for somebody else, or use Proxima by herself even. She's, like I said, she's very strong. And then can't forget about Sharon Rogers, but honestly, with all these other characters available, like, I don't even really use Sharon Rogers anymore. She's just, you know, she's a little, you know, finicky to play. There's some certain things you kind of have to get right, and some of these other characters, it's easier to play. You know their damage is going to be there, especially characters that have an awakening skill. But Spectrum, Sharon Rogers, and Valkyrie would be an excellent team as well. And I feel like a lot of people have rage on Scarlet Witch, so she's not going to do as well if she actually had a judgment. Alrighty, moving on. Oh baby, okay, so this is another one where I think a lot of people are actually at, or at least this is part of some of the stages that they're actually clearing. So this is 20 to 24 Mal Hero. Now, as I mentioned, you know, you could swap Cable and Star-Lord lead and expect the same damage. So that's a thing you could do, and then you could add another character to that, depending on who you use for other clears, right? So a lot of this is really going to depend on where you're at and who you're using for other stages. But Cable doing a solo clear is definitely a thumbs up. Keep in mind that, you know, Rage takes a hit and Energies is going to perform way better on him. When I did testing on Cable, a proc did better than Rage. That's just saying, guys. Okay, so one of the best teams is this team right here. Mr. Fantastic, Torch, and then Thing. Now, you got to swap his uniform from Maker. I think you could and probably should use Maker by himself, depending on who else you have or what stage you're playing. But if you just want a nice, easy solo clear with Torch, boom, use this team. and you'll be able to, you take advantage of Thing support if you have Thing, and then use Mr. Fantastic, especially if you don't have Maker uniform there. And then a few other teams I have on here. Okay, keep in mind, you could swap uniforms, right? Just like I did with Mr. Fantastic, we have Cyclops as well. Now, his passive isn't as good. It's only 15% increase of energy attack to all allies, not 30% like on his Phoenix 5 uniform, but it's something, right? It's something, especially if you're just doing a solo and just need a little bit of an extra push, and if you're not using Cyclops anywhere else, right? So we have Cyclops. You could use him for a Falcon lead, right? 30%. Or if, like I said, if you're using him for somewhere else, use Winter Soldier lead. That's also, next best thing. When I tested Ignore Dodge lead for Falcon, it didn't seem to work as well as it does for Cable. One of the reasons is probably because he has 70% on his fit skill, Ignore Dodge, plus if you have an energy on him, right, he already has over 100 at that point, so that's something to take into consideration. That's the thing. You just got to look at the character, see how much Ignore Dodge they have within their kit, and if you have an energy on them, and then, you can make that calculation for yourself. But a good team up would be, Cyclops, Falcon, and Torch, assuming you were already using them. Doctor Strange Vision in Cyclops, or you could do like Strange Vision and then Gambit. That could be another one as well. Or Strange, Ghost Rider, and Torch. And keep in mind with Doctor Strange, like if you're using him with like an Awakened character, or if you were swapping them in and out, you could hit his fit skill and rack up some more damage there, right before you do big damage with an Awakened skill, or so on and so forth. And then the damage dealers I have down here, we have Cable, Torch, Falcon, Vision, and Ghost Rider. Yeah, Vision's not bad. He's another character kind of like Falcon, where his proc can actually just be tricky. So it might be a character you choose not to use, but you could certainly use him, and he's definitely strong. You noticing a theme here? Yeah, so some of the top teams in any situation where they all can be used, we have the Maker, Thing, and then Torch. Or you could just double buff the Maker and then give Torch, like Strange lead or a different, or just a different lead altogether, right? Something that buffs Torch himself, because Maker's very strong and he could certainly be used to get the clear himself. Like, I mean, you can give him double support. You can give him this. I think even with this, he can get it done. But, if you don't have him built and you went ahead and built Torch, I feel like more people have Torch built than they actually have Maker built. So this would be an easy peasy clear. It's probably the easiest clear right here. This team right here. Okay, so first up, I have Maker, Thing, and Taskmaster. Maker, Torch, and Thing. Captain Marvel, Moonstone, and Taskmaster. You can do the Captain Marvel Moonstone trick yet again here, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, easy peasy, another easy clear there. And then Winter Soldier, Falcon, Taskmaster, Spectrum, Sharon Rogers, and Taskmaster. I think those are your best bets right here. I mean, there are other characters that can get it done right. Ghost Rider's not bad, but I think those are going to be your best damage dealers are the Maker, Torch, Moonstone, Sharon Rogers, and Falcon. You could add Ghost Rider to that list as well. Okay, last but certainly not least, we got one more bracket left. We've made it to the very end, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking around this far. Okay, so yes, this is all male characters, so the window is very large and it's wide open, and we have quite a few options here. So first up, I got Ebony, Mephisto, and Taskmaster. And as I mentioned, the characters that are support, like the damage dealers I have down there, you can basically just give them support, right? Give them whatever support or whatever lead. If, say, you don't have Ebony or Taskmaster, built, because they're recent characters, they're new characters that got their tier 3, both of them actually, Ebony and Taskmaster. So I could totally understand that. So you could just replace one or the other there. But Ebony, Mephisto, Taskmaster is an excellent one. Maker, Torch, and Thing, or as I mentioned, Maker with double support. I actually don't have that written here. I'll go ahead and add that before I actually put this in my Discord. But yeah, that would be another excellent one. And then we have Thanos, Call, and Taskmaster. Using Call Obsidian here, yeah, he's like the king of one-shots. He does much better from 60 to 30. So you could do a thing with him where you do like, Thanos, Call, and then even Mephisto. And if you weren't using him as a solo clear, get him down to 30 bars with Call, and then bring in Mephisto to finish him off at the very end there. And then you could even do a thing where you bring Call in for like the last 7 bars if you're struggling, or something to that effect. And then I have Gambit, Falcon, Taskmaster. As I mentioned, you know, the ignore dodge lead wasn't as effective for Falcon, but it'll certainly do the trick if you don't have a character like, say, Winter Soldier. You know, you could use Cyclops lead. He's not going to take advantage of his passive, but he can certainly take advantage of the 35%. Winter Soldier is going to give you 30% on leadership to Falcon. That's the thing. Physical damage dealing characters tend to struggle a bit, especially speed physical damage dealing characters. They struggle with leads, right? Leads and even supports. Like the game favors energy attacking characters, so it's just tougher to find the buffs and supports for those characters. But we got more now. We got more, right? We got Taskmaster, which is excellent, and then Ebony's applies to it applies increased damage to universal types. So take advantage of that. So yeah, we got Falcon and then Cable, Ebony, Taskmaster. Use Cable lead. It seems to work really, really well for himself. So just give him some supports. And then down here, so damage dealers, Mephisto, Torch, Maker, Call, Falcon, and Knull. Did I not do a team up for Knull? Okay, so I'm missing a team up there for Knull. I'll have to add that as well. Boom, done. Okay, I went ahead and I added these characters in here. I added the Maker thing and Taskmaster, and I added Knull, Ebony, and Taskmaster. All right, I think these are the best teams here, but assuming that you're splitting up supports, right? Because you could only use a character one time. So taking one support and add in like a character with an awakening skill can also be a thing you can do. I'm just trying to give you, thing is this, we can go so deep into this and just you know, connect a bunch of different dots here, but I'd be talking forever. So maybe I'll try to devise something where like depending on which stage you're at, you know, giving you like 5 different clear options, like different team ups that you could actually use, something to that effect. But you know, it gets deep. It gets deep, and it can get real messy. So you know, just use your best judgment. That's really all I could tell you. But these are some of the best teams. And I did go in here and I tested a bunch of different things before I actually made this list. So this actually took me a bit more time than I actually thought that it would. But you know, when I was so far into it, I'm like, I can't stop now. I got to keep going and bring you guys this information. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this helps you. I hope this maybe helps you make some decisions, like on who to build when you're advancing to Knull. Like, okay, this character is going to get it done for me once I get to this requirement here. So there it is. I got more stuff though, and we should be seeing the sneak peek very, very soon. I want to hear what you guys think it's going to be. It should be tonight. I'm pretty sure it's tonight. A lot of people saying that that's going to be coming once the Cosmic Core event ends, which that is actually going to be, well, according to this, if it's when this ends, it's going to be, what does it say? It says up in the corner there. I thought it was down here. All right, so 13 hours. So I'm hoping that it's in a couple hours as opposed to tomorrow night. Because I've been saying that it was either yesterday or today. It could be either today or tomorrow. So I was maybe one day off there. But in any case, it's upon us, and I want to hear your thoughts on what you actually think it could be. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you better stay tuned. You stay breezy, but most of all, friend, you stay safe out there now. Peace. I'm hoping it's universal mail. We need it. We need supports. Richard Ryder, Beta Ray Bill, Void, God Emperor Doom. I don't know. All right. Peace.